many of you, this is going to be probably the most challenging part about being a personal trainer. Most of you have the skill set and you have the knowledge and you feel confident actually doing the work, but getting clients and selling different packages is kind of a hard thing to do. So today's lecture, we're going to go over 3 pieces that are really going to help you do that. The first piece, we're going to go over some steps that you can use to actually sell a personal training package. The second piece of this lecture is actually a video, and it's some advice from a professional. And so I have that embedded into this video or into this lecture, but I will also be posting it separately on Beachboard just so you have access to it. And then lastly, we're going to go over some role playing, or like I like to call it, different scenarios. So essentially what you're going to be doing is you're going to be practicing how you would go about answering questions and having a conversation depending on the different scenario. And hopefully these 3 things are going to help you be better at being a personal trainer and selling a personal training package. So some of us might be thinking, well, selling, it's all the same, right? If you're a salesperson, you're a salesperson, right? So let me give you a little scenario, okay? So you have a client and you wave goodbye to your old client that you just worked with, you ended their session, you have this new client coming up and you take a breath, you can see them in the corner and you're walking up to them, right? What are some things that you're going through? Well, you're going to think about your health history questionnaire and your PAR-Q forms, right? So you pick up your new client forms. Right now you're thinking, all right, I need to be positive. I need to kind of welcome them with this like warm embrace, make sure that they are comfortable with me. So you put on a smile, a happy face. You stand up tall, right? You greet them with confidence. And you greet your potential client that's waiting with you with a nice handshake, right? Not too firm, not too soft, right? Hopefully this is all stuff that's going through your brain. So at this very moment, the second that they laid eyes on you and you laid eyes on them and you made eye contact, that's when your sales meeting begins, right? Because people judge people based on what they look like, based on how you carry yourself, everything. So after some small talk with this person, right, you start to think about setting a meeting for how you can actually start this training, right? So here are some things that go through, some steps that you can take that will actually help you close that sale, right? So sometimes I think that they're all the same way, right? They all start out the same way. How much does it cost? How often do I need to see you? What do I need to lose? X amount of pounds. I just want a program to do on my own. Can I do that? If you've had to sell any personal training packages yourself, this is likely a conversation that you have had. Okay. And so essentially people come in with generally the same questions. They come in with the same worries and the same barriers. And so it's important that we can kind of recognize those so that we can kind of steer our conversation. So when they ask these questions, how much does it cost? Or how often do I need to see you? Or I want to lose this amount of pounds. How can I do that? A key thing to do is not answer that question right away. And so for some of you might be thinking, well, that seems silly, right? They're asking me a question. I should answer it. You can certainly say, you know what, that's a really great question. And we're going to go over that in just a bit. But you want to make sure that you're not doing that right away. Because if you do so, you're actually going to be decreasing your chances of making that sale and eventually, potentially, decreasing your chances of selling an even bigger package. Essentially, what's going to happen is you need time so that you can set some rapport with your client. And that might take 20 minutes into a conversation for that to exist. So in the very beginning, when you're first meeting with them and they ask these questions and you answer them, you might be kind of giving away more or maybe even less than you think, meaning you might sell them on a package that they might have, after 20 minutes of talking to you, really kind of bought into who you are, really enjoy working with you and want to do more with you. Okay, so try to avoid answering those questions right away. Always acknowledge them and say, you know what, I'd love to chat about that, but let's discuss some things here first. Okay. So where do you even start with selling? Well, you need to assess a client's ability to commit because their commitment is going to be what's going to lead to their success and their health behavior changes. You need to think about what time of the day they can come see you, how often they can come see you, but you are in the position of power. So you need to control that conversation. And oftentimes people will answer a question that you ask them and maybe do so in a way that's kind of wishy-washy. And so you need to really make sure that you're reading your client, And sometimes it's as simple as asking, rating how likely are you to commit to this, right? How confident are you in your ability to commit to this? You need to assess their goals. So what is it that you want to achieve? You need to make sure that you're taking detailed notes so that they not only see you doing that, because that's important, that means that they see you being invested in them, but it's also going to help you eventually so that you can really create a nice program for them. Again, makes the client feel like you really care, and again, helpful for SOAP notes. So here's something that I get asked a lot. People say, well, the conversation just kind of stopped, it gets a little awkward. So silence can actually be really powerful. And I use this a lot when I coach my own clients. When someone stops talking, that usually means that they are going to start thinking about something. Most of us have a really hard time with silence. And so we want to fill that silence with just us talking. So if your client stops talking, let them stop. Give them some silence, because what will likely happen is that they're going to then say something that is a little bit more honest and a little bit more truthful and provides you more information in regards to what their health goals are or what they really want to achieve.